So we'll listen to this one first. So this is on Will Heron's channel. Why am I not subscribed? I'm always subscribed to Will Heron. That's strange. He gave me shit about that last time. Little Piggy. I guess the show's called The Little Piggy. Nick talks Aaron, always making him the hero. Why tests came out positive. So we'll watch this one, and then we'll go into Nick's actual thoughts. And there's some DMs, some leaked DMs that show why Nick thinks the way that he does. So now this is I guess this is their show. So like I said, the puppet's kind of interesting. He's kind of funny. Not a big fan of the New Zealand guy. Actually, I'm a very serious coder for Moody. I mean, for the Melton show. I made the app for the children voices that we like to sexualize on this show. Just a little New Zealand guy. Nothing to worry about. No, not a big fan of that guy. But the puppet's kind of funny. I kind of like the puppet. All right, let's see what he says.
I don't know. It's like everyone's going to be tuned in to find out what your take is on this. You've talked about how Aaron's made himself the protagonist and the hero of every story. It was actually somebody else with these stories that he's telling. So will you, when you're able to, finally open up and tell us what happened?
Within reason, yeah. But now
you see how I mentioned this earlier, but you see how Nick has his no face logo. This is because he's using his non-usual PC. And the question is why he's always using his non-usual PC. Is he afraid of going down to the bunker? Is the PC gone because it's been confiscated? We don't know. But he is in the karaoke room and he eventually turns on his camera. So this is, I guess, earlier in the stream.
The hard part about it is, and this is something that Aaron doesn't like have any concept of, is that there are two other people in this story who have not been vocal. One in particular.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. Now, it is true that Kayla, Nick's wife, I guess, whatever, in name only, really, she doesn't want to be a part of the online sphere. And she doesn't want to be a part of the online sphere because she tried to be a part of the online sphere and she got blown the fuck out when she went on to Nick's show and tried to shill her CBD oils. I guess it could be CBD oils if it's she's selling them, right? Like the MCU, the CBD oils, who knows? But she got a really bad response from the audience, and and everyone booted her to the side, and she kind of disappeared and just went back to the Delta Quadrant after that. Now, April did want to be a part of the online sphere because she tried to be a character. She was originally a character on the Steel Toe show. She would take her clothes off for money. She then went on to do great things like becoming a mistress. So very, very great character development from her. And then she was very happy to post all day, every day on Twitter, engaging people in the conversation until very recently. So maybe now she doesn't want to be a part of the story, but she definitely did back then. So that's not exactly true. But we'll continue.
Who has said literally nothing. And there are parts of stuff just relating to me that those things have reflections on those people and how people will perceive them, and they just want to move on with their lives. Like, it's not Aaron's.
Okay, so Nick is saying that his wife wants to move on with her life. So why do you keep engaging these people, Nick? Nick, honey, can we just stop engaging in the internet bullshit and stop getting people to call me a whore? Nick, can you just stop going onto the show and talking about Aaron? No, honey, this is my hobby. This is my hobby. I've got to do this. You don't understand. I'm too invested in the story, honey. Nick, please, I don't want to be part of the online sphere anymore. You don't understand. They're making fun of me. I need to be friends with the pedophile group. They like me. They're not making fun of me all the time. It's all he has left. Yeah, pretty much. But his wife literally wants to just get out of the situation. He can't stop it. It's like, sorry, honey. Look, I'm very invested in this online drama and trying to convince the world that Aaron drunk my cum out of your pussy. So I'm going to have to keep engaging with the online trolls. Okay. I guess you're right. Dad knows best, right? Who can say?
Like, no, I'm just telling.
What are his viewers like nowadays? Nick's? He doesn't stream. He's got no numbers. I think if Nick came back, he would have a pretty consistent 1,000 to 2,000 viewers. I think it would be really high on the first stream back, and then it would dip down. But I think that his audience would not. I think the audience that got betrayed will never come back. But he could definitely have like a staple of people. His audience on locals is like 70 people, and 50 of them are A-logs. I think that's one of the reasons he hasn't gone back to streaming yet, because he knows that he's going to get like a very lukewarm response. But like hypothetically, if he did come back and he just stayed like talking about boring legal topics, and then trying to put his funny spin on it, then I think he could build up another audience again. Like, I never think you're really ever like truly gone unless you actually get deleted or something. Well, that's true though. That's a big problem for him, is that he's lost his search engine relevance. If you search for Nick Recator, his channel doesn't even come up anymore for me. People talking about him comes up. So it would be very hard for him to get back into it. But I think that the word of mouth would spread enough that the first stream back would be a big one, because people want to see if he's going to be like retarded. And then afterwards it'll dip down because it'd be just boring. But we'll have to see.
My story, like, I was great. 3 other people were criminal
Scumbags.
murderer, child rapists.
Right, yeah.
Like,
It's
just
literally
talking
how he
about
painted it.
I just, but, like, there were 3 other people there. It's like, oh my god, what's
All right, I'll respond to this one. Hold on a second. You're all trash, LOL. I just want to point and laugh. Yes, that's true. No, you don't. No, that is true. I do want to do that. You're all grifting. Yes, I am grifting. I am pointing and laughing, and I'm also making money. That's my hobby. As if you're doing everyone a favor by informing. No, I'm not trying to do anyone a favor. I'm just trying to have fun. What are you worried about? Yes, I'm making money. Yes, I'm having fun. Yes, I'm pointing and laughing. You don't like it, don't watch. I'm sorry that Nick Nick isn't there for you and that he's not streaming for you, but this is the only game in town now. Oh dear.
wrong with you? Like,
Even before he told the stories, Nick, I couldn't believe it. He's just like, yeah, you know, April decided to take one route and I decided to go the good way and do all the great things. And someone else did the opposite of that. It's like, yeah, we know what you're saying.
We get it.
Yeah.
I
The other
don't
thing-
do drugs.
You're right.
the other thing is amazing about him is like now how things have morphed so heavily. So many of these things, it's like, Aaron, this is your idea. Like,
It's true. He
this
does spend all day
story was
doing it.
your idea, and he's like, I can't believe. Like, okay, so he's told the story of how he proposed all of this to April in Vegas, right? Like,
Right,
she's
yes.
in the shower. He goes in there with his palms sweaty, mom's spaghetti, and he's like, babe, I just need you to get out of the shower, right? Don't even towel off. Just
Nick's Melton voice is really aggravating me. I don't know what it is. Like, he's just trying to copy how Melton sounds, because I guess he's like looks up to him or something. But I find it very annoying. Lemmy Lawless with a 500 yen. Oh, hello, fellow Japan bro. Says Nick used to have a small army of lawyers on his streams. Now he's showing up onto pedo streams. LMO. Very true. Very true. It's amazing how much free work he got out of other people. And it was a reciprocal relationship. Don't get me wrong. Like, people certainly boost their careers, and some even launch their entire careers from his channel. But I think he really doesn't appreciate them in any way, which he never really rewarded them. Like, and you don't have to, right? But he did say that he was going to. That's the thing. He actually said on stream he was going to compensate them, and a couple people are very butthurt about not receiving that compensation.
come sit with me on the bed sopping wet. And I need to tell you about this thing that I want to do. And I'm really worried about it. And now he's like, April was saying how she wanted to do this type of stuff, and she just gaslit me into believing that I wanted to do it. I had no agency in any of.
I'm not sure that this is something Aaron has said. I'm pretty sure Aaron said he was a piece of shit, and he did make a mistake. Like, Aaron has a lot of faults, but I think he hasn't tried. I mean, everyone always tries to make themselves look a little bit better, right? Of course, you glaze yourself a bit when you're telling these stories. But I think Aaron said, like, he just straight up fucked up in this entire endeavor. Like, he said, like, I made a big fucking mistake and I'm trying to move forward with it. So I don't know with this version of Aaron they're watching, but I don't know.
My decision making. It's like, homie, that like, and that's every story.
His story, yeah, every story, and Melton has done a great job documenting this. Every story has changed to be the opposite of what it first started as.
So here's something I've tried explaining to a few people.
All right, this
People
is going to
don't
be a while. Listen to this.
understand Aaron. They're like, oh, he's deceptive, or oh, he's lying, or he's changing stories. No. The man has no past,
No past.
present, or future.
So what does he mean by that? Aaron has no past, present, or future. He's just some ethereal idea that exists in Nick's mind. What do you mean he has no present? Like, I can understand no past, I can understand no future, but he has no present? What do you mean by this?
None of it exists.
Yes.
The only thing that exists is whatever he wants to be true right now for whatever reason. And
So he lives in the present, is what you're saying. If only now the moment matters, then that means he's living for the present. You just said he had no past, present, or future. What do you mean? Oh my goodness.
he will change,
Right.
even if talking to the same person in the same conversation within minutes. it will shift dramatically.
The projection is just fucking unreal. It's just so fucking unreal. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Aaron is Dr. Manhattan. He is. To these people, he is Dr. Manhattan. He's the undefeatable enemy that they've been trying to get. Like, they've got this entire team of people. These 5 crack minds got together to try and think about how they can stop Aaron Eamholt, Dr. Manhattan, in their universe from succeeding. And they just keep failing. And I've described Aaron as Mr. Magoo. He's like walking around, you know, humming or whatever. And they're like trying to get him, but they keep slipping on banana peels and falling out of windows and shit. And Aaron's just like felting them just by existing. And it's not because Aaron's smart. It's not because Aaron's clever or he's devious. It's just because they're so fucking stupid that they can't help slipping on these banana peels. Just as Aaron's just going about his life. It's really crazy, honestly.
He did it on his
Boxing
interview
challenge
with,
is a perfect example of
Yeah,
that.
we've seen
We
it.
just saw this today. But yeah, go ahead, Nick. You're
Yeah,
spot on.
Another win for the
he-
toe.
He did it in his interview with Will Heron, where he's like, Nick's only option, the only thing he could do is to shut the fuck up. Like, he just has to be quiet. He has to do it. And then 10 minutes later, he's like, he stopped talking because he's a giant bitch.